suppose now would be just as good of a time as any to report on all the fun little doodads I did at AX 2010 this year. Hey guys, this is MPig, and it's been a while since I went to AX 2010. I think it's been about a week, maybe 2 weeks, but, I need to update on this kind of stuff because it was a fun convention, and let me get my cell phone and get those crappy pictures out for you guys. Never mind about that. My cell phone is so crappy that I can't get the pictures off of my cell. So I guess I'll just have to, talk about this, and you guys can look at the wonderful picture of the stormtrooper with the Haruhi headband on. That's what you're going to have to stare at for the next 10 minutes or so. The thing is, I had a bunch of wonderful pictures of cosplayers, but I guess you could just go on PhotoBucket and type in AX 2010 and get the same experience, just with much, much higher quality. Basically, this year at AX, I didn't get to go all 4 days, unfortunately. I only got to go 1 day. One of the things that I noticed this year was that there's a lot more people. There was actually a lot more people there the first day of AX than there was last year. The place was crammed. Maybe it's just because I'm more experienced of going later in the day or later in the evening, but it was pretty much packed. I had a huge picture that I wish I could show you guys of a giant wave of people just waiting to get into the dealer's hall. It was pretty insane, but a lot of fun. I'm sure it's not as insane as Comic-Con. People tell me how bad Comic-Con is as far as the crowds and stuff, and I just hear about it and I'm like, oh my god. I'm not even sure, I would want to wait 5 or 6 hours to just go see a panel, which is pretty much what a lot of the convention is, buy stuff and go to panels. What's kind of cool about AX is that there's always been this kind of warm, fuzzy feeling around it, which is people just seem to be genuinely nice there, except for, the jerkwad who was in the dealer hall who told me to stop taking pictures of the hug pillows, and I was like, I will take pictures of hug pillows if I want to, gosh darn it, because I am never going to buy these things. So you might as well just go up there and go clicky, 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 clicky towards everything that you can. It became a running gag, actually, because the first thing that happened when you go into the dealer's hall is that the best-selling item last year was the Haruhi body pillow. For those of you who don't know, the body pillows are basically overblown pillows that are basically human size that have a print of a scantily clad anime character on them, usually. And you can assume, the sorts of things that these nerds do to these particular pillows. And that was the best-selling item last year, so now they're everywhere. They were in more abundance this year than any other year I had been, and I've been 3 years now. So I was walking around going, oh my god, so many pillows. And so I told my group of friends I was with, I was like, every time I see a pillow, I'm going to take a picture. Or every time I see a stand with a pillow, I'm going to take a picture of a different pillow from that stand. And it became this running joke where I would go up with my cell phone and I would pretend to be discreet about it, like old Solid Snake with my picture. I'd be like, "Teek." I would even make that sound and then walk away. But the thing was, it was all a big joke until this one guy was like, dude, just take the freaking photo. And this was a guy working at the darn stand. He should be polite to me. Most of the girls who were working at those places, they were laughing at me because, I make an ass out of myself. Big deal. And the one guy was like, hey, just take the freaking picture. If you're going to take the picture, just take the picture. And I was like, why? Am I drawing attention to the fact that there's dirty stuff here and you don't want people to know that there's dirty stuff here? Because technically it isn't illegal to take a photo of a body pillow on your cell phone. I see tons of people do it. It's not like an ask permission thing. You probably should, but, it's just, if you're body pillow hunting with your cell phone, it's okay to just go in there and go for the kill. Just take your picture of that scantily clad Haruhi pillow. Just do it. As opposed to, the wusses who go up and ask questions. So a great deal of the dealer hall experience was me hunting, as I would call it, until the one guy yelled at me. And I was like, dude, chill, man, chill. I bet when you were young, like me, although I'm not all that young anymore, so I can't really get away with it by saying, when you were young, yeah, I'm going to be 20 now. Yeah, when you were at a convention, just think about this for a moment. And this is one of those guys that it's obvious that he was just volunteering so that he could get money to actually buy a body pillow someday, so maybe he thought I was mocking him. Because, I mock everybody who buys body pillows. Seriously, who buys those things? There was a guy I ran into in the convention with a body pillow strapped to the back of his backpack. Literally, it wasn't in a bag or anything. It was just strapped into his backpack. I literally ran up to him and asked, this is the beauty of these kinds of conventions, may I hug your hug pillow? And he said, sure, go ahead. And me and the hug pillow had a moment. My friends were horribly embarrassed, and they were like, oh my god, that's enough, Caleb. And I was like, what? This is a convention of love. We show our love to the pillows, to the figurines, to everything around us. Jeez, I should just cosplay. Because, you know, when you cosplay, you can get away with so much more than if you're just like a normal person at a convention, like just walking around. I don't want to make it sound like it was all just weird, the kind of perverse otaku stuff. Like seriously, these conventions are just like, it's amazing the age range of these people at these things. I mean, you've got old people, you've got younger people, you've got really, really young people, you've got guys my age, you got guys in their 30s there with their wives. That really amazes me. Like there's this couple at this thing, and they were examining body pillows. See, it all comes back to body pillows, though. No matter where you go, it comes back to the one truth. But they were looking at them laughing. She even pointed at him. She nudged him and went, "Hey, it's Yoko. Should I get that for you?" And I thought that was freaking funny. See, every otaku guy needs a girl like that. But unfortunately, he was good looking, so I was extremely pissed off. I was looking over at him like, "My God, man. Of course you got an otaku girlfriend. You're good looking, and all the rest of the normal guys are just..." And that's when the rage and the demon comes out. But you know, just learn to deal with it. All the good looking cosplayers who get all the attention from all the good looking female cosplayers, and you've got the normal guys who are just like, what are we supposed to do? Not the AX. You know the worst kind of scum you can find at these conventions? I'm not saying scum. That's too hard of a word. Like, people who are intentionally going to hook up. That's just stupid to me. Although I doubt there's anybody who really does that. But there are people who act like that. Where it's just like, oh man, they're cosplayers. They have... respect the cosplayers. When I go up to a cosplayer and I want a picture with them, especially when it's like Lightning from Final Fantasy 13, I hate that game, but I love that character, who has like this giant sword, I go up to her and I politely say, "May you kill me." I don't ask for her number or anything. I don't hit on the cosplayer. I mean, there's nothing wrong with going up to a hot chick with a giant sword and asking her to kill you. And most of them are more than glad to do it. It's an amazing thing when you're posing with somebody with like a giant scythe, and she's got the scythe around your neck, and you're like, oh, this is the closest to sex I'm ever going to get. Joke. Haha, that was funny, see? But still, there's some really, really creepy guys there. I ran into one, actually. There was a guy who was, I guess he was sort of like the kind of guy that you would call, he reminds me of, he was a fat version of the main character from Welcome to the NHK. There was something about him that rubbed me the wrong way. And he ended up talking to our entire group. He ended up going up to them and, like, having a conversation about Pokemon, I think. Because a lot of the weird people in my group were dressed up like Pokemon. Don't ask. They had a whole, like, Pokemon theme going. And I ended up having to get dragged to the Pokemon meeting place where, like, everybody was going to get together as all the different Pokemon and Pokemon characters, and they were all going to get together and take photos and stuff. And you realize how many freaking people dress up like Pokemon. There's, like, hundreds of the things. There's a sea of people there, all dressed up as these different things. And I was sort of sitting there going, there's probably all 150 here of the originals, and then plus a bunch of the weird, crappy ones that I don't even like anymore. And you're looking at it, there was a guy, a full-grown man, dressed up like Ash Ketchum, except here's the trick here. He had like a little backpack attached, and it had a thought bubble, like crane, that went over his head. And so constantly when this cosplayer walked, he had a thought bubble over his head that had dirty drawings of Misty and the other three girls from shoot. What's the name of that show that I've been mentioning so often? Pokemon. The three main chicks from Pokemon, like the ones that ended up replacing Misty later, they weren't really dirty, they were more just suggestive, and that was really funny. And I took a lot of pictures of great cosplayers, and it was a wonderful time, even though I got sick again, right when I get back from AX. There's an AX curse, and I believe in it full-heartedly, that if I go to AX, I get sick. Every single time. There's no doubt about it. This is MPig, aka My Profile is Great, and I am signing out. So that fills you guys in on what I was doing at the AX. Peace.